It was at a birthday celebration at a restaurant. My son was visibly upset. He was about 6 or 7 at the time, and he um, wouldn't tell us what was wrong. And it took a long time to get it out of him. And finally, he looked up at me and he said, "Mommy, you're always on your phone." And wow, it really hit me, first of all, on so many different levels. First of all, that I had been caught, that I really was always on my phone. Second of all, I don't ever think I thought about the fact that he was even aware or cared or that it had affected him. So we had a long talk about how he felt, and that's where this project, me, myself, and I, kind of was born from. The realization that these little handheld devices have really taken over our lives. I remember not that long ago, when dinner time at home, if the house phone would ring, no one would ever think to get up and answer it. And now, just a few short years later, maybe a decade later, 15 years later, people are bringing their phones to the dinner table. It's completely changed the dynamic, the familial dynamic of dinner. And that's really what I want these images to portray. And I want there to be an awareness of our behavior, an awareness of how we're treating the people that we share our space and our time with. I also wanted to, with the project, touch on a couple of different things. The fact that we're missing out on what's going on around us. Studies are showing that we are 70% less aware of our surroundings when we're on the cell phone. And this isn't just about missing out on special moments, special times, but it's also about missing out on the dangers around us, on what's going on around us. And I really wanted to show that with this image, that being unaware can be a very dangerous thing. And is followed with this image, that people are taking their cell phones and including them in pretty much every activity, without thought to the possible dangers. And we don't stop our activities anymore to answer the phone. The availability of the phone, the bringing it so close with us, it is really dangerous. And I really illustrate that as part of this project. It's all around us. You know, people talk about texting and driving and how it's become against the law in most states, if not all states. But it's not just in cars. We're putting ourselves in danger. I see it everywhere, on bikes, on motorcycles, pedestrians. And there's really something that we need to ask ourselves about: why are we willing to put ourselves and other people in danger to spend a few minutes? What is so important on the phone that you can't take a break or get off of your bike or pull over the car? And it's that disconnect that I really want to explore with this project. Another aspect of the project that I think is really important is, and going back to the initial story about my son, is about how we're making the other people feel that are around us. We are supposed to be sharing time, space, activities, moments, really fleeting moments with the people that we love, that we care about. And the availability of the phone has completely changed that dynamic. So I really wanted in this image to illustrate an activity, a very traditional, certainly in my family, activity, ping pong. It's something that people of all ages can do together. And you interrupt that moment to answer the phone or to text. And you really need to think about what is so important that I'm going to stop my activity with this person. And especially in this day and age when we're so busy, things are going so fast. really think about how much time you're spending with your children, with your parents, with your grandparents, and is that phone call really that important that you need to stop and take it? And then I wanted the images to illustrate the effects that it has on the other person. The other person often has very strong reactions to being ignored or being dismissed because the phone is ringing. And in these particular images, they're children, and children specifically don't express themselves, don't speak out. And that's why it was so shocking to me when my son did. And I think people think that children don't think about these things, aren't affected by it, but they really are. And I really want to make us aware of that, and just make sure that you're aware of your choices and you're affecting them. And it's not only to children. We also dismiss our loved ones, our spouses. I've heard it so many times when researching this project, you know, how my significant other, my spouse, is always on the phone. I never get, and anytime that's supposed to be our time, date night, you're really sharing that time with the phone. And these are traditional moments where you're supposed to be one-on-one with that person. And really, we're not anymore. And I think people really need to think about that. Another part of the project that I'm exploring and the use of cell phone is the cell phone use in common spaces, spaces that we all share with each other. Public bathrooms is a very perfect example of that. It's a very closed, it's a confined space, and we feel that it's perfectly okay to bring in the phone, to share our conversations with people in those spaces. We don't give them a choice. They have to listen to what we have to say. And this is kind of a twofold social issue, I think. We're sharing this confined space with people. I think it's inappropriate as far as they're concerned, but it's also kind of a strange dynamic with the person that you're on the phone with. To be speaking to them while you're in the bathroom, while you're washing your hands, even something as simple as washing your hands. It's just a moment that's gone because we are speaking on the phone throughout. Again, this is a very confined space where we don't even think about it. We just talk on the phone. Everybody has to listen to our conversation. It's a very strange phenomenon that is very new, and really the thing that's very interesting to me about it is nobody expresses how they feel. Everybody just kind of accepts this behavior, and then behind the scenes everyone talks about, well, you know, I think it's rude, it makes me uncomfortable, I feel neglected, I feel like we just live in this really rude, ill-mannered society, but yet nobody says anything. I have seen these situations over and over, and nobody speaks up and says, excuse me, but could you not do that? And that's a very strange thing that I think is solely with the cell phone. And I'm trying to explore with this project why that is. Is it that if we start asking other people to moderate their behavior, then they're going to ask us to moderate their behavior, and we don't want to have to moderate our behavior? These are the things that I really want the project to explore. Finally, in this final image, I kind of really want to push the limits of the appropriateness. And this is so inappropriate on different levels. You're having a service and you are completely disrespecting that service on one level by bringing in this cell phone. You're paying for this service, and I can't imagine that being on the cell phone, texting, whatever it is that you find so important, that you can't really appreciate and be in the moment. And this is kind of the epitome of what I've been trying to say, which is, you know, people just don't relax anymore. Things are going by so fast, they're so busy, they're multitasking, playing ping pong while on the cell phone. And here's kind of the epitome of that. This is the one place where you are supposed to be completely relaxed, Allow yourself to recover from all of the activity. And people can't even seem to stop and experience that. The cell phone even has to come there. And that's, big part of, again, what I really want people to think about when they see this project. And think about not only how is it affecting other people around me, but how is it affecting me? And what am I losing out on? What are the side effects? What is the cost? Yes, we're gaining all of this accessibility, and we can Google anything at any time, and anybody can reach us at any time. And I understand that there are a lot of really positive things about that availability, but this project really asks the question, what is the cost of that availability?